boys. Back on the trail. Back on the hunt. Back on, honestly, the campaign trail is really what we're on. Here with Matt Trammell. How you living, Matty?
Doing good. Can't complain.
Excellent,
man.
Getting
Decompressing from the weekend.
Yeah, Matt, can I tell him what happened this weekend?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Matt turned 40 this weekend. He's killing it. He's doing his thing. And we actually went and saw Shakespeare in the Park, which was super fun. But he is just sort of conquering life and slowly moving through it. And so if you have a chance, wish him a happy birthday. Drop him a Venmo. And but dude, I feel that. It's always crazy when like you have a big weekend or really just do almost anything. And then...
Yeah, really. Once you hit 40, it's when you do almost anything.
Exactly.
You just got to decompress afterwards. You got to set a little extra time aside.
Something must, like, the other hand must be washed in some way, you know?
Yeah.
Man, that's so true. But it was good. It's good to kick it, man. Like picnic.
Yeah.
Live theater.
It's a blast to see you guys, see everybody, bring friend groups together, some people that had never met, and that was really cool to see how people interact and stuff, and make some networking and things happen with people and from all different walks of life.
Yes, there was quite a mishmash of people, which is always good. It's what you want at a picnic and a birthday party. It's just a lot of range. You know what I'm saying? A lot of range.
Yeah, kind of like the play. The play itself was a Night of the Burning Pestle, and it seemed like they were the whole theme of that was bringing different worlds together and causing them to collide.
It was a wild one. This was
crazy.
Yo, Jay, this was one of the very first satires ever written. Like it was essentially
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it essentially was like oh, sorry, I took you off. It was essentially, 20, 30 years after Shakespeare. Gervanch, how you doing? Coop, how we living? I'm chilling with Matt here. We're going to get started in a little bit, but it was Matt's birthday this weekend. And we essentially just had a great time. Like, had too much of a great time. And now, Sunday, one buffer day is no longer enough as the years continue to stack upon us. Yeah, totally. But hey, we're here. We're living.
Yeah, we're here. I'm awake.
What's the one anecdote you would hit someone with if they're about to turn 40, Matt?
Oh, dude, someone gave me a card for 40, and it had a Carl Jung quote in it, and I was really into it, and it basically said, what did it say? The Carl Jung, I'm going to paraphrase it probably. It was something like, 40 is when everything gets started because everything that preceded it was just research. And
Ooh.
I was like, I like that.
I like that a lot.
It was great.
We're out here doing research, man.
Yeah, doing research. Time to get started. Let's go.
Like I am right. Can I write that off? Like,
yeah,
we are out here.
For real.
We are out here desperately trying to collect some tax incentives. No, man, that's true. I mean, you gotta be willing to be flexible, willing to kind of learn on the fly. Matt is one of the first guys. Excuse me, I forgot that I needed to add his avatar, Cierre, the Drow Spy. Matt is one of the first guys I ever played D&D with. I mean, I remember. Actually, the first session I ever was a player in, I sat next to you. And essentially was like, can I borrow your dice? And you were like, yes, but that's the wrong one. Dude, yeah. Appreciate that. You getting some happy belated birthdays. Fusca, great seeing you. Really enjoyed y'all's live play sesh. That was amazing. Koopy, get in here. Digital Embrace. Hello. Hope your wrists are feeling good. Hope you're feeling good. And Gervanch, my man, that music video was popping, dude. Seriously. Feel very proud of that because it was very well done. Hope the response has been great. Hope people have been, just like enjoying it. Like the shit slaps. Maybe, I'll try to plug it at the end. Always. Pleasure to stop by. Gervanch, hey man, I know you gotta get some sleep, but before you do, maybe enjoy the tales from the shadows of Menzoberranzan. So, to kind of dive in, Matt, you need anything, dude? You good? You got your pacemaker set? You got a banana?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. We set, confirmed. What is happening today, and what has been essentially going on through this is the third time I've gotten together and run the Shadow of Menzoberranzan. Essentially, Matt is playing a character named Cierre. She is a drow spy, and is actually lifted directly from a 3rd edition campaign book called The Silver Marches, which I talk about pretty much every other session. Like, it had an enormous impact on me as a D&D, as a DM rather, and showed me, just really opened up my eyes to how independent content and adventure guides can be applied in numerous ways, reskinned, or played straight, whatever it is. And Cierre is essentially a lurker, someone that was sent from Menzoberranzan to collect information. She often goes in disguise, under great care and careful to not be discovered in terms of what and who she is. The initial session saw her charged with a mission in Silverymoon. The deep burrows of the Underdark had long laid cavernous and long lay sealed, at least on the contact points to the cities of men. There is an exception. And over the past 200 years, through really intense focus, through move earth spells, and through some highly combustible components known as gunpowder, the Drow have essentially come very close to fully breaching the surface beneath Silverymoon. Cierre's companion and associate is a very powerful mage by the name of Baranchena, who some week or more has gone silent, not responding to messages on Sending Stone, and generally considered either kidnapped or dead. Sent to recover some information as well as potentially plant explosive charges if these caches of gunpowder are found and recovered, is Cierre. The last session that we played saw her entering a large underground catacomb, known to the Drow. It was a sacred space to the scorpion god Scaravan, known as the Sanctuary. This is where Baranchena the Mage had been conducting extensive summoning, some independent research, and essentially acting as a vanguard on this forthcoming assault to the elven city of Silverymoon. Cierre came within, and upon hearing voices hid, and saw two members of the Knights in Silver, squires, but still charged with returning in the remaining barrels of explosive powder to the surface to be presumably inventoried and brought to a place of oversight and protection. Cierre had other plans, springing from the darkness as a multiclassed rogue ranger is prone to do, and claiming the life of the senior guardsman before knocking unconscious and binding the second. Proficient with a disguise kit and in possession of one, and tossing out, I believe, a 23 and a 25 tools check with said disguise kit, Cierre not only disguised herself as a full-blooded elf and put on the armaments of a squire of the silver, but she also disguised the half-elf Stell, a man that had been knocked unconscious and honestly fallen upon some pretty hard times, disguised him as a full-blooded drow. Thus disguised, Cierre took the remaining 11 barrels of explosive powder on an enchanted, more or less, U-Haul pushcart, and headed back towards the surface. It was many hours that you walked, Cierre, in this sort of vast, oppressive catacomb that honestly felt like leaving the last kind of steps of your neighborhood, your home. You felt the greasy kind of rip of almost like dirty oil poured across your skin, and it was a sensation you'd felt before, as the mythal wards of Silverymoon marked you as a drow and notified those so in tune with the wards of the arrival of a drow within 2 miles. You pressed onward for about another hour and a half and came to what became a large, heavily worn, clearly demarked stone bridge, again some miles beneath the surface. You saw scorpion hooks in a large archway and steps leading upward. And that's where we're picking up today. So before you, Cierre, is essentially about 70, 80 feet remaining of a pretty wide, about 25 feet wide stone bridge. You see a large set of steps that leads up, kind of disappearing into the darkness. You're not exactly sure where it goes.
I guess we'll just continue forward to the base of those steps.
Okay. You get up and you see, fading up into the pretty much near pitch darkness. The steps disappear. They go up the range 120 feet, I believe is the range of your dark vision. It's wide enough. It's about 10 feet by 10 feet. You know that this more or less trolley, it's about 8 feet long and curved up. Imagine like an elongated U. And floating about 6 inches off the ground. Some imbued telekinesis spell, perhaps something else. But as you press it up and over it, it does sort of ride over the top. However, it is, quite heavy. There's almost 800 pounds laden on top of this thing. You can press it up. It will require successful athletics checks
On my journey here to the base of these steps, I never saw anything because they've been transporting barrels out of those caverns for quite a while, but I never saw any remnants of the path that they might have taken, like to confirm that this was the path.
You did. As you were leaving kind of the sanctuary, you made a survival check, and I'm not sure what it was, but it was higher than the 14 DC you needed. It essentially showed pretty significant foot traffic moving east. As you headed that way, I mean, it was almost like going through a cave system. You would periodically kind of check to make sure that there wasn't like some split in the road, some like multiple kind of option, and there never was one. It eventually sort of ended this large, 80, 90 foot. In some places, it extended beyond the ceiling, rather, beyond the actual length of your dark vision. And as you came to this stone bridge, it's a noticeable shift. It's almost like a cavernous space breaking and ending, and then a stone bridge of about 100 feet. You've crossed some of it. And as you get to the stone, the steps, I mean, it's across this entire way. You have, I would say, on the heels of that, seen similar foot traffic. I mean, there's nothing in the way of humanoid design, nothing in the way of gatehouses or structures that mark any sort of like consistent guard kept. This appears to be previously a drow cavern system that then leads into a very long step system.
Okay, so no, doesn't seem like any evidence of where the other barrels might have gone, except for just forward somehow.
None whatsoever. Exactly. You see what appears to be foot traffic of humanoids, but
yeah. All right. Well, I'll try to start moving the cart up the steps. See how far I can get doing that.
Sure. Give me an athletics
See how
check.
that goes. All right. And Sten is still on. Sten or Stel?
Sten.
Sten is still on the cart as well, I guess. Just
Yes, he's bound and gagged. He's
Yep.
essentially been rouged up to look like a dark elf, and you painted some
Yep.
contacts, which is pretty intense. Forced them on him. It's a horror film, but you did it.
What kind of check did you ask for?
Athletics,
Sorry.
please.
Thank you. Oh, great. Good. We're off to a good start. 4.
Great. So it is pretty tough. I mean, this was definitely something that was designed for teams of 2. As you start up, you're almost at the bottom of it, almost like sort of a football drill where you're trying to drive a sled. And sure enough, you do. I mean, you find yourself like bounding up it. About 15 minutes go by, and the assault of these stairs shows no sign of slacking. You feel your legs growing weak and a little bit fatigued. Make another athletics check for me if you're continuing on.
That's better. 18.
18, cool. So you go on about another 30 minutes. It's intense. I mean, it's almost like you're in a never-ending elevator shaft that is on a 45-degree angle, and instead of it being like an elevator shaft, it is these wide stone steps, evenly carved, perfectly uniform, and absolutely no aesthetic, no carvings or demarcations, nothing beyond the actual functional smoothness of stone. You continue pushing, the sweat perspiring and pebbling your skin. It's cool down here, but you find yourself loosening your collar, and as you move forward, it's nothing but darkness greeting you. Make a third and final athletics check for me.
15.
15, okay. These are all 13 DCs. Doesn't necessitate a Constitution saving throw to see if you take a point of exhaustion. You avoid it. Half an hour goes by. You've now been inside the stair step more than an hour. It's very intense. You weren't really sure at what level Umbridge had teleported you. Now it feels like you were within the actual core of the fucking earth.
Yeah.
However, you see gray light. What would be described as dim light in the DM guide. And about 80 feet away from you, Cierre, you see the licking shadows of what appear to be torches or a fire. There is, make a perception check for me.
Journey? That's a 24.
Okay. You look up and you can see within the ending of the stair step, which again is about 80 feet away from you, rough-hewn wooden framework what would look like it could perhaps contain a door, yet there is no door, or if it is, the hinges are open such that you can't see it. The shadows coming in from this open area stretch down about 20, 30 feet, casting long shadows across these stone steps. You hear what appears to be conversation or some sort of utterance. There's brief sounds of movement, almost like resettling, and the scraping of something, wood on stone, stone on stone, unclear.
Okay. And I'm not at the top of the steps yet. I'm still pushing.
Correct. You're about, I think it's at 80 feet away, but you can tell me where you are.
I'm going to... Is there, do I get the impression that if I were to stop pushing on this cart, are these steps like large enough where I could leave a cart and it'll be stationary? It won't slide all the way back down or anything like that?
I think your basic understanding of like just seeing this cart, I mean, again, it's 5-6 inches off the ground, almost like there is a telekinesis spell on it, kind of binding it from the earth.
Yep.
You also know how gravity works. You're on a slope. I mean, this would absolutely go back
down. So it would go back down.
100%.
Okay, these aren't like 20-foot steps and then you go under another 20-foot step.
Yeah,
okay.
No, the steps, the depth of them is about 8 inches, 10 inches. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Yeah, then I keep pushing.
Cool.
The rest of the
very well
80 feet.
So you sort of crest over the top, and you hear the scraping of, as you sort of round up. Are you pulling this thing up? Or are you still pushing from the back?
I think I'm still pushing.
Okay, so you push up from the back. Sort of a lilting. You hear, oh fuck! Oh shit! Hey! Okay, give me a hand. You can see sort of cresting through this wooden frame, 2 full-blooded elves in the half plate of the Knights of Silver. They pull back. Get the fuck in here! You were down forever. Oh shit, me! You see them taking Stin. You grabbed one.
So I grabbed my throat to show the makeup that I put of like a rope burn.
Shit, me.
That one, he jumped us from behind. We caught him. Help me lift this. Help me get this into the space.
Yeah, sure. You see, one of them is clearly like in the ringmail that Stin was wearing, and that you are also wearing. You take that to be a squire. The other one is in the full half plate. Make a deception check for me, Cierre.
All right. 22.
Fuck yeah, they did. Well, that'll teach them. Take a crack at the Knights in Silver, my ass. You see him just smack open-handedly Stin, whose eyes are bulging. I mean, he's full on, fighting against this. I mean, he still has 1 hit point. You see him sort of struggling. Shut the fuck up!
Rolf, stay behind. Sorry, Rolf, stay behind. Thought maybe there might be more scouts like this one. Wanted to make sure, but I thought he would catch up with me by now. I hope nothing's wrong.
Yeah, there were 2 of you. You left him down there. That's a bit.
He was in charge. He was in charge. He told me it was important to get this one back and to escort him. Escort him to to the prison.
Make another make another deception check for me, Cierre. As you see the squire now sort of like moving these barrels off, like unloading, and the larger man in the half plate sort of taking this in. What'd you roll?
I rolled a 14.
We don't leave our own behind now, do we? Damn. It's not an easy walk. It's like 4 bloody hours.
Yep. That's why I thought I was pushing the barrels, and I thought he would catch up by now. But now I'm nervous. I'm nervous he got into some trouble. Maybe one of you should go check.
God damn. It's fucking roll fall through, isn't it? Always getting himself caught up, dragging his feet. Hey.
He's in charge.
But no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna need you to row back in, I think. But we can't leave Rolfie in there. You see this man kind of turn. Go back in? Well, I just came out last morning. I don't want to spend any more time in there. Plus, we go down in pairs. I don't want to be going on my own. What if something happened to Rolf? The hell happened to me? Just get down there, boy. Where'd you leave him? Is he in the actual cavern? Is he halfway? What happened? Was he tied up?
No, he was fine. He was just he wanted to go a little deeper to try and make sure there were no more scouts, because we found this one, and they tend to run in pairs too, just like we do.
Fucking Rolf trying to fish for a promotion like always.
That might be the case. I'd volunteer to go with you, to travel in pairs to safer, but I'm on my last bit of energy.
It's fine. Get in there. It's been a long night. I'd say head down to the Star Court first. Inventory. How many barrels you bring back? What is this?
We got 11.
All right.
11. I think that's the last of it.
We'll lead him in. And get welcome to what's coming to you, you little drow scum. That's what you get for mucking about. Torix will have his way with you. He's actually peeling apart one of those drow mages right now. Hell, you get within the under jails, and you could probably hear the screams. It ain't pretty down there. It's full on. I mean, it's full contact. But he'll be waiting for you too, little drowie.
I think I'm gonna take him there right away.
Yeah.
Ralph definitely wanted me to make sure I get this one to the jail cell right away.
I thought his name was Rolf.
Yeah. What? Did I say it wrong? I said Ralph.
Make a final deception check, Cierre.
Oh boy, 14.
He's been rolling like garbage.
Good.
And we'll continue. Yeah, what's a fucking name? All right, well, on your way then. Good work down there. Hey, Benny. All right, I'm getting ready. I'm fine. I'm storing myself mentally to go back down there. Just give me a moment. Are you taking Stin and departing, Cierre? What would you like to do?
So, were they like in a little side chamber or something?
You are in about a 40 by 40. It appears to be almost like a cellar. The actual, like, the wooden beams that sort of 10 by 10 that you saw from the bottom of the stairs lead into this largely kind of earth floor but stone and clay reinforced cellar. You see, I mean, dozens of barrels. I mean, probably another 70 or 80 explosive barrels here within the space. And then at the far end of it are some wooden steps that lead up to a door which is half open, but you see very minimal light coming in from above it.
So, I'm sorry. So I'm in the cellar, and then you said there's a door in the cellar, but also light coming from above?
You are in more or less like low light, from what appears to be a covered hooded lantern. That's why it was such like small kind of tracings of flame. At the very top of these wooden steps, which appears to be the only exit out of this largely like 40 by 40 box, which again is mostly covered. There's some like tarped and some what appear to be like stacked chairs, maybe an end table shoved against one side. About 70-80% of this room is full of barrels. Identical to the one that you brought up. Beyond that, 40 feet away from you, is essentially these wooden steps that go up about 10, 12 feet. And then there is a classic, about 4 by 8 square door frame. It is half ajar, and there is really no light coming in from the outside.
Okay. All right. I will grab Den by the scruff of the neck and just like push him forward and head towards that door.
Okay. I would say because he's bound, because of the situation he's in, I'm going to give him a chance to roll a nat 20 on his performance check.
Okay. 17.
He continues to struggle. You push him out and up these steps, and as you do, the door is sort of pushed forward by this struggling, a half-elf body. It opens up into a wide courtyard. Fragrant. You realize you're standing essentially in a garden. There are well-worn grass paths that lead in between these well-curated rows of blooming petals, despite the winter season and what would be, you would presume, a pretty harsh climate. It is, I mean, SoCal at its best. It is a cool 73, and is unseasonably so. As you look around, you see essentially you're standing next to a beautiful structure. It goes up a wide, peaking roof, several spires coming out from the four corners of it. It's inset with many crystals and silver star windows. Make a religion check if you'd like.
18. Okay.
I was going to make you roll a disadvantage, but you have been in Silverymoon multiple times on business. This is a temple to Saloon. the goddess of the stars and the moon, the betrothed protector to Maliki, and the patron goddess of Silverymoon. You take this to either be a temple of Saloon directly or a temple of silvery stars, which is pretty much the same thing. You can see that this goes out about 60 by 80. You're about 30 feet away from this significant but not overwhelmingly large chapel. Across this garden, again about 60 feet away, there's a low iron wrought fence, and you can see beyond that. Make a perception check for me.
Am I in like sunlight?
You are. It is dead of night. Yeah.
Dead of night right now. Okay. 28.
Oh Jesus. Well. Yo, let's go! Get in here, Matt, bro. That's sick. Sorry to interrupt. I just happy the stickers worked. The 28 is more than enough to get a lay of the land. You are in the eastern side of Silverymoon, and we'll move into this area right here. You essentially.
Do you have an Albert link?
Oh yes, I believe it's in the. Oh, I'm so sorry you haven't been able to hear the music, man.
Oh no, that's not good.
Sorry, my little pup just came back. I want to give him some sugar. Neither did I, Matt, bro. Neither did I. I'm more concerned with the content than with the stream element stuff, but your boy might need to adjust that. Okay. So there's the Albert for you, Maddie. Let me know if the music is not coming through. Dude, always welcome. Slap those stickers, baby boy. I want my peeps out there slapping. You were essentially here. You can see across an enormous courtyard. I mean, half a mile more. It is, probably at least 800-900 feet, and at its narrowest. And as you are standing kind of like in the southwest corner, you essentially see an area that you know to be the courtyard of the Star Court. To your east, across the way, is a enormous castle complex that not only is the High Palace itself, but is the seat of power and authority here within Silverymoon. You notice that many of the shops are shuttered. There's almost nothing open. There are the sort of the flittering of gutted torches fighting extinguishment against the wind, and they're quite numerous. You see 8, 12 torches just in this courtyard alone.
Okay, I'll head. I believe I got information from Sten when I was interrogating him about the general area of where the prison was. I think he said it was east of the northern bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what he said. So, and you say this castle is east of me?
Mm-hmm.
I'll head that way.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I mean, Cierre doesn't necessarily, even though Cierre's been here before, but Cierre doesn't necessarily know where this prison is. Is that right?
You have never been within the actual Star Court. Like, you've walked by some of these areas, right? Like, you've seen them. But you've never been within the actual High Palace jails or any of that area at all. Most of the time, whenever you have been in Silverymoon, it has been really, really specific stuff. Like, you've either been going to meet someone and give or get information, or you have been going specifically to, like, drop off something, much like you were charged with that ruby crystal.
Right.
Yeah. You do see across the way, I mean, this is undoubtedly the Star Court. I mean, the actual, like, 2-story building, which is, like, enormous. I mean, each story is, like, 30, 40 feet. Looks like a gigantic mini-spired king's crown. Almost like a large spired crown that's been set into the actual ground. Each of these towers sort of juts off. It's leveled, but it's angled in its design, which is intense. It must have, like, taken quite an amount of arcane care. As you approach, you do see 2 members of the Spell Guard. They're sort of chatting back and forth to one another. Well, that's what you get for letting a dragon loose, mate. I mean, they'll fly all over the place. That's what they fucking love to do. They're power-hungry monsters. They're dragons, boy. The fuck else do you think they want? That's why they move and come and go. You saw it, Kate. What the fuck we have here? Is that a drow?
Yeah, caught him down in the Underdark. He's headed to the cells.
You see him walk up and sort of, like, pull back Stin's head. and peer into the eyes. It's always bugged me the way they have his fucking cat eyes. Well, good. Hope it didn't give you too much trouble. Make a deception check for me, Cierre. Jesus Christ. I have not rolled above a 4. It's insane.
Yeah, that's good, because I'm rolling low too, but I've got this big modifier. 18.
Well, right on then. I assume you heard about Rotirion, but it's good to know that the Drow's here. The god was running all over the fucking city looking for it. Didn't know she was already bound.
I haven't. I've been down for the past 3 days, down loading barrels. What happened?
They had you down there for 3 fucking days, mate?
3 days.
Lord.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we were taking it in shifts and decided it was just
You
more
need
efficient.
to file a complaint with Joris, mate. That ain't right.
Yeah.
He promises 8 hours so you can take a break, but I mean 3 days under the...
I mean, there were breaks.
Much.
There were breaks, to be
Yeah.
fair. There were breaks downstairs, but I mean, now that I've been through the near strangle of death, they said I can come out.
You look like warmed over shit, to be quite frank with you. You don't look well.
I look like I feel.
No, yeah, I'm just telling you, you should get some rest.
As soon as I drop this one off in the stocks, you know.
Yeah, sure. Go on, just tell him. Take the northern lift. It's probably a little less busy, although nothing's really busy tonight. Everyone's sort of hitting the streets looking for what they thought was going to be a wild roving drow, but good to see it already tied up in ropes.
That was this one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's good work.
Yeah. Okay.
Go on then.
I'm off.
You see, he sort of one of them sort of leans over. He's like, "Well, if you were down there, for that many days, I guess you didn't hear. Rev Tyrion, he came. I guess early morning yesterday. He flew atop the battlements. And, I mean, to be honest, it was scary as all hell. He was talking about wars, and violence in the north, the end of the era of dragons and whatnot. It was quite somber, honestly, especially for a dragon that big and that old to be coming about. And I mean, he talked like he need help. I mean, he was like speaking like the end of days and whatnot. It's got everybody upside down."
Was he violent? Did he attack the city?
Yeah,
or was he just threatening?
Not even. He just sort of came down. He said, "The peace of the wild is broken. The bloodline of dragons will no longer stand between the northern giants and the realm of man." And, I mean, he seemed pretty put off, to be honest. He was sort of just going around and people were screaming, and he kept doing the frightful presence thing where he would land, right, and be like, and then people would get all fucking, turned upside down, right? They're like pissing themselves and running off, right? And just,
Well, sure, it's a bloody dragon.
It's a fucking day, mate. You hear stories, but then you see one, and it's like, they're big, mate. Like, like, I mean, his skin was copper, but his belly was like green, It was like this, like, old patina, right? Like, it was beautiful as well as it was scary. I'm happy I saw it. I'll also be frank, I made my wisdom save, so I was able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's got everybody pretty shook up.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Oh, my God.
3 bloody days he's down there. I mean, see, you miss stuff like that whenever you're underground that long. It's not right. It's not fair.
It's the story of my life. I miss
all right.
everything.
Well, make sure you get something to eat. Take a load off. Sending a squire down there for 3 days. Come on. Yeah, and as you sort of roll into the actual area, you don't really know where you're going.
No.
Just make a perception check for me real quick as you sort of move off with some pace, some purpose, but no real direction.
You said perception. That's going to be 15.
15? Cool.
Yep. 15.
So you walk in, and it's I didn't really describe them, but even just like going up from what is sort of this, star courtyard outside, this large kind of space in the kind of northern, negative space created by this enormous towering star court. As you walk up these steps, I mean, it is almost like sort of approaching Rocky's statue in Philly. I mean, it goes up about 20 feet platform. And as you go up outside this large arching moon gate, this is where the Spellguard has been talking to you. So you walk inside, and it's this sort of like, well-hewn mix of marble and limestone arcade. I mean, it's absolutely the seat of power of an ancient city. as you look through it with that 15, what you're really looking for is like mechanisms. He said lift. You're familiar with that technology. You guys have some of that in the Underdark. And you see sort of beyond what appears to be kind of a barracks or sort of a stable structure, there is a very large steel box beyond which there is a very large steel platform. Hanging throughout much of this space are low-lit, braziers. Some of them chained, some of them kind of coming near extinction. I don't think low light causes you disadvantage, but it does sort of mark the way to a degree. If you head towards this lift, you essentially see a man there that's moving through like a bunch of coins on the ground. It appears to have like a stack of copper, a stack of a different kind of maybe Ethereum or Electrum, and he's like going through silver pieces as if he's like counting and restacking. Trade, if I can go, I don't know how I can do it.
Am I out of ear distance?
If you want to be.
Earshot. I just want to like kind of take my. What do I have? Oh, I did pick up a dagger at some point from. Oh yeah, I think I got it from Rolf actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take my dagger and just kind of poke Stan in the back. Be like. And he'll be like, is that the lift? Is that the lift to the cells? Just nod or shake your head and live.
He's completely unresponsive. Other than heavy breathing.
Alright, we'll just go forward.
You push him in. He moves through his fucking...
Head to the counting guy.
Where's this shit go? Hey, shit! Oh,
hey,
hello,
mate.
hello there. Yeah.
Hey, mate.
Sure, yeah.
Got one for the cells here.
Okay.
So I need
Fine, I heard you. Okay, fine.
Okay, let's go.
He coins in. He starts like cranking this thing. God damn. You hear the heavy grinding of gears as this chain is winched and coiled. About 3 minutes go by before you hear sliding into place and presumably locking against its own freefall. It's a very large 20 by 20 foot platform, almost like pulled up by this crane. There's a 4-pointed kind of steel beams that meet at the point which the chain is attached, and then beneath that, a wide, either iron or steel, it's unclear, it's heavily worn platform. Get the fuck on in.
All right. Keep counting your coppers.
Shut the fuck up, I will.
Push him in.
He moves in, and as this guy struggles to make rent, he fucking starts sliding this thing down. And it's fucking eerie, Cierre. I mean, after sort of the initial push and the initial sort of testing of both words and purpose, the ease with which you've stepped within the Star Court, Lady Illustrial Arazume lives here. And what's more, to have stepped through the wards and have felt the mythal magic break and sort of pebble your skin, you feel like you're past it. The drow they're looking for is in hand. Now, however long that will be upheld through his potential imprisonment, potential torture and inquisition is unknown. You feel the lift settle, and you find yourself deep beneath the streets of Silverymoon. Now, for those at home, I haven't really been able to figure out a way to create Fog of War for you. So we are all in this together. No spoilers. Cierre. You were essentially at, if you step off the lift,
yep,
you have in front of you Sten, who I will drop in as an icon. He, of course, is bound. In front of you are, at the end of this walkway, essentially steps descending. And at the end of that, you essentially go down and can't see beyond what appears to be a curve in this structure.
All right, let's go. I'll just push him forward.
It's so good. Okay, so you go down. As you sort of, press into this area, we got here? Who the is that a fucking drow? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Got another one to put in with the other bunch that
How
came
many
in
we
earlier.
got?
Well, hopefully this is the last one, but they're searching for more. This was a scout that was, treading the same ground that the others were.
That sucks, man.
Got the jump on me.
That looks bad. Make a
it's
deception check real quick as he makes a perception check. Good lord.
Ooh, that's really good. I got a 30.
This is, well, I mean, I don't know if he was touching that. I didn't know it was like that. I'll let you guys know. I rolled an 11 on the perception check, which still does not touch on the challenge rating created by your disguise kit. Well, I mean, yeah, go on, I guess. I know Terex is in the middle of, talking to one of them. He loves to work at night.
Damn, son.
To be honest, I hate to, be down here whenever he's working. It's, really fucking intense. It's honestly, it's too much. It's it's too much. But, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, so I guess drop him off. I know that we got some spots on the northern rack, but definitely let Tapas know, and then, I guess if Tarex is done, maybe he'll just start cracking right into this guy. Does he have a name?
I didn't get his name out of him. I figured I would leave that for Tarex himself.
Yeah, that's
He's the one
probably
that's
right. Yeah, that's
pull the
smart, man.
information.
He's so OCD, right? He just controls. He just has to control, right? Anyway, good luck, dude. Make sure to get some rest. I'm sure the dragon has you spooked. We're all in this together, man. Take care. As you sort of roll into this space, it is essentially like a barracks. I mean, you can see that there are slits in the walkway here to the south, and there's a door to the east, and then there's steps going up and out of the room here to the north.
Okay. A door to the east. What's past the slits to the south? Do I see? Can I look in through those?
Yeah, 100%. Make a perception check for me if you like.
Just as I'm passing by, I guess. Ooh, natural 1.
For a total of
12.
Cool. So you roll in. It is kind of dirty and dusty. As you sort of push up one, there's a little kind of shaking of dust. It does that weird second where you're like, oh shit, this is I'm scared. You know what I mean? My eyes are gonna get fucked up. I don't want to do this. So as you sort of peer in, there's not too much you can see. To the south, there is what appears to be a hearth that is still burning. You can see bits of fire, feel a bit of the heat. There is a desk in the corner. You can't really make much that's on it. I mean, there's an inkwell. It is a mess of sort of parchment and paper. Some of it looks pretty uniform in terms of the actual pages themselves, but it doesn't appear to be very well kept. And then beyond that, you can see a hallway extends, and there are several closed doors, but you can't really see beyond that.
I'm gonna go up the steps.
Love you guys. You got it. So you press up and in. Immediately, as you step into this space, you hear as bounding towards you is an enormous mastiff. Hey, Pumpy! Pump! Fuck, mate! Hey, Pumpy! Don't! See him sort of call back. Sorry about that. Pump with me. Heel! Heel! Pump! You see this mastiff essentially coming up, moving over, smelling Stin, and then coming up and just smelling the shit out of you, Cierre. Yo, Pumpy, calm down. Come back. Come back. Sorry about that. Really, I am. She gets all sort of been up. She's got to stop. She comes and grabs the actual sort of collar, rips her back. Bad girl.
Really cute. Really cute.
Yeah.
Really cute.
She's just a protector, that's all it is. Didn't mean to have her run up on and invade the space. Pump.
Sure.
What do we have here? It's just drow all over the place tonight. Jeez.
Right, we got just a new tenant. Wanted to check out the place. Thinking of renting.
As he sort of leads Tarex back, you see Tapas come over. So who the fuck's this?
This is the latest edition.
You see him sort of again, kind of chin up. Good God. There's sort of a struggling from stem to stem, sort of fighting. Screaming against these bonds. It's kind of weird how they get all fucking bent out of shape, isn't it? Fighting back and whatnot. When they're the ones trying to press back and ruin what we have.
Yeah.
How'd you run into him?
He was scouting. He was scouting down in the Barrel Lands. Interrupting our work. Treading the same grounds.
So they do have a way to get in and out. That's a bit troubling, but good to know.
Sure is. Yeah.
Make a deception check for me.
Okay.
You know what? It doesn't even matter. What's your proficiency? I mean, I rolled a total of 7. This is insane. These insight checks are out of control. And these people are actually trained and proficient in some of these things. You know what? Roll it, because maybe roll a 1. It's a total of a 9.
27.
Okay. All right. Okay. You win this one. It's fucking wild how they think they can just take and leave. All right, come on. Let's put them where they belong. He starts leading you down. And you see you're walking by essentially cells.
Yeah, I want to look in every one if I can.
Sure. First 3 are empty.
Okay.
You get to the second. You see a full-blooded orc. He's actually resting against the back. Appears to be asleep. You slide into this space where the pathways sort of deviate. Or actually, you're about to, rather. This'll do. I like to keep them close, that way if they're bickering into some problems, I can just pour 1 pot of water and bring it over, you know? A heavy sort of jail key is unleashed, and there's a ching! He slides this back. And in goes Sten. He walks over, beginning to untie. Keep an eye on him for me, would you?
He's asked me to keep an eye on Sten?
Yep. He unties the bonds.
What does...
He tosses you the rope.
I'm gonna... He has the keys on him still, right? While he's untying the bonds, can I pull his keys?
Ha. Sure. Make a sleight of hand check. I am going to give him a perception check because of the nature of what's going on.
Okay. Yep.
Dude, I swear to God, I have rolled so many 4s. This is out of control.
Ooh, this is a rough one on me. Sleight of hand. 10.
Jesus, he rolled an 8.
Oh God.
So as you slip these keys from him, from the door he's just unlocked and open.
Yep.
He undoes the ropes, tosses it to you. We'll say that you sort of stepped in like briefly behind him to accomplish this, and are now more or less like at the line of where this sliding iron wrought jail cell door is.
I want to back out.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast silence.
Wow, baby boy. Wow.
And then I'm gonna close that cell and lock it.
I am stunned. Okay. Very well. I am going to give him a dexterity saving throw versus your dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
That's not bad from him.
Dexterity saving throw. Oh boy.
Total of 14.
Ooh, that is a 22.
Cierre, you were just handling business. The fuck? Hey, what the fuck? You see him? Oh.
Click. Or no click, just silent.
Now, because you were just there as he does this, there's like 8 keys on this thing.
Oh, yeah. True.
So
I think I would have tried to, like, pay attention to which key, but still, even finding it.
But to give you that, let's make it a perception check.
Okay. 18.
Okay, cool. DC was 15 on that. Very well. So without much trouble, still sort of sliding, the slightly shorter one. You're not sure if this applies to multiple jail cells or just this one, but you grab it, click it into place. There is no sound. The absolute absence of it. You see this jowler, this knight in silver, losing his fucking mind. I mean, conniptioning. I mean, his neck, his face bulging with passion and frustration. Well fucking done, Cierre. I honestly didn't think that was going to happen. Okay, so what would you like to do? You're standing here. This just happened. You see him sort of like starting to freak out. Now that Stin has been freed from his bindings, he rips off his gag, spits out sort of, the further kind of cloth that you'd shove down there, and begins screaming. He stops. What would you like to do?
Go. I'm not as much as I would love to just watch them struggle. I gotta run. So sure. I'm gonna choose a path and start looking for my guy. What this sure. fork in the road, do I see? I mean, I can see a little bit in Owlbear, but does Cierre see
yes
left and right what those choices look like?
I would think so, yes. You essentially see in front of you a it looks closed on this map. It is not. It is a open, similar sliding iron rod door that has been slid open. You see like the final like 6 inches of it. This is essentially a door frame that's open. Through it, I think with your passive perception, which is what? Is it above a 12?
Oh, passive perception?
Sure. Yeah.
That is a 21.
Your passive perception is 21? Oh, because of expertise. Yeah. Good lord. Okay, well, we'll deal with that problem another day. But yes, certainly higher than the 12 you needed. You can see within this space, it is essentially a room of torture. There is a man, dwarven, clean-shaven head, with the exception... Oh, so sorry. Move that. Meant to lock that and failed to. A wide beard, a snowy kind of back knot. You're not sure if he's either completely bald or it's shaved, but it is like pearly smooth. Within that space, you see that there's a large fire pit, about 3 feet across, above and across which is racked a humanoid figure. On the southern side of this room is a circular spiked device of hellish intention. It appears to be designed to horribly destroy someone's physical form. There are spikes on the eastern side of the wall. And you can see, not sort of described on the map, there is any number of sort of chains, graves, hooks, and prodding tools hanging against the northern and southernmost sort of empty stretches of this chamber.
Okay. That silence spell that I cast, it's a 20-foot radius.
Radius, correct.
So I believe it'll cover the hallway that we walked down as well?
Correct. And I would say up until basically where this door is opened, entering this chamber.
Okay, yeah.
Right up here. So but we'll just go ahead and drop it on there.
So in theory, any sound that gets made out of here won't reverberate down that hallway where the dog and that sort of thing is.
I would agree.
At least that's what Cierre believes. And it's concentration, so I got to keep track of that.
Now this is interesting. Okay, never mind. All good.
Oh, I see. Are these 5-foot squares?
Yes, they are.
Got it. Cool. Okay. So, Cierre's gonna move forward and try and hide in this room. Maybe like sneak along when Terex has their back turned, sneak along that western wall and. Sure. Oh, those are cell gates, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Ooh.
Make a stealth check.
Okay.
Is it not odd how frequently we find ourselves, both of elven blood, both of similar shape and design, yet one of us cast forever into the shadows, beholden to the fiends themselves. You're whoosh. Would you roll?
23.
Roll again.
I don't know if I said I probably don't have my hood up. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't say I put my hood up, and I wouldn't have had it up while I was in disguise.
Totally.
So that's a 17.
He rolled back-to-back 19s. Plus 5. As you creep into this room, you hear him saying this. I mean, not that it's like full-voiced, but it's a small enough room. He's almost caressing the head of this drow that you know, but hardly recognize. As Baranchina's bruised neck and cheeks, a wide gash going from his widow peak into his matted and bloody hair. And as he's sort of purring these thoughts and extending the sort of, tasseled ends of this cat of nine tails, you sneak into the room, pressing yourself against the northern side. And as you do, you're sort of hiding up against it, right? Pressing up against it. You get to where the iron cells are. And it's just as you're circumventing around to get a clear visual and not have your line of sight blocked by Tarex. You see him. The pain he's in, the situation. You sort of catch your heel against one of the north-south vertical poles of this iron dart cell. He looks back. What in the name of anything are you doing here? Were you invited?
Yes. Yes, I was. I've got my invitation right here. And I pull out my longbow.
Ah, you bitch! He was about to close on you so hard. Okay, make an initiative roll real quick.
All right. 16.
16?
Yep.
Okay, dude. And I think well, you know what? Fuck it. I mean, this is, I mean, I love you, Maddie. I have no idea how this is going to go, dude. I'm rooting for you. I also, it's just funny because, like, my party, this is, like, definitely their home-based city. They love this place. They love being here. And it's just so funny, the things in conflict. Everybody that's rolled through, I appreciate you guys so much. Matt Pro, I love you. Appreciate you rolling through. You guys are legends. However, you see him immediately look back to you, put down his cat of nine tails, and extend a hand. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, those aren't good. Wisdom saving throw of a 7.
Ooh.
Is this a charm of some kind? Because I have advantage on those.
This is
versus charms.
Not.
Okay.
This is this is not a charm. You feel your entire body go rigid. And as it does, you see his eyes narrow. And he pulls forth what was held in his other hand, which you didn't see, which is almost like a curved, enormous, bone-carved, horn-carved, unclear pipe that he pulls deeply from. Well, I don't believe that's possibly true, as the only person extending invitations here is me. You feel the effects of this whole person absolutely, like, dominate your physical body. He now steps up, feet from you.
Yep.
It is your turn. You can do nothing.
Oh.
Make another wisdom saving throw.
Oh, God. What is that? That's a 9.
Mm.
Damn.
You fight against it. Your legs kicking, your fingers almost moving, but completely bound. Well. And to respond with such aggression, unusual. You see him, he pulls out a long silver sword, as long as a long sword, but slightly curved, a thinner blade. He flashes it forward, rolling with advantage. Jeez, does a 15 hit?
No.
I mean, it does like physically hit, right? But it doesn't do anything. Like it becomes a basically just sort of like slashes across. And as he sort of does that, he pulls it back, sees you not react, feel fucking embarrassed, and pull it back to drive it through. But it is your turn right now. What would you like to do? You can do nothing. Make another wisdom saving throw.
Cool.
You are held, baby boy.
Ah, there we go. Natural 20 for 23.
You snap out of it. Now, I do believe...
It's at the end of the turn?
It's at the end of the turn, exactly.
Okay.
He is going to... Okay, you have beaten it, so you've already beaten the spell very well. He is going to first extend a hand, and as he does, you feel this burst of cold, almost like this pop, like being completely covered and douched in a snowdrift instantly. Make a con saving throw.
Oh man. Damn it. 6.
6? Okay.
Yep.
You fail. So you have disadvantage on your next attack.
Cool.
And you take 6 points of cold damage. As this frostbite cantrite flashes up over the... As that happens, he again swings forward with his blade. God damn. And savagely misses. As he does, you scrape backwards, ducking. It sort of just catches on the top of these gel cell doors, accomplishing nothing. It is your turn. You took that damage, and you have disadvantage on your next attack.
That 6 points of cold damage, is that something that's uncanny dodgeable?
Sure.
Or is
any
that
damage
a different
is
kind
in that sense. You absolutely can. If you want to use your reaction, sure.
Okay. Then yeah, I would have used my reaction for that.
Sure.
So I took 3 points of damage. I need to make a con save for concentration on my silence.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 17, so we're good
Saves.
there. And now it's my turn. And he's up in my face, and I have disadvantage.
All true.
Okay. I'm going to disengage.
Copy.
As a bonus action. I'm gonna head down towards his little spiky bed of nails Ferris wheel contraption.
Accurate.
I'm gonna kind of stand behind it a little bit, just for a little bit of cover.
Mm-hmm. Provides half cover, sure.
Yep. But I'm gonna step out just enough to shoot an arrow at him, finally.
Okay.
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage, copy that. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, this is just a regular arrow. Ooh, both of those are pretty good. Yeah, so that's a 25.
That hits.
Great. 55. Where's my D8? Where'd you go? There it is. All right, so 1d8 plus 5. That's 5 plus 5 is 10. Plus, he's a humanoid, so plus 2. It's 12. He hasn't taken any damage yet, so that doesn't apply. Sneak attack doesn't apply. Okay, so 12.
12? Got it.
That's it. And I get an extra attack. Attack plus extra. So yeah, same thing.
Okay, go ahead. Roll the hit. Straight roll.
Straight roll. Okay. Oh, natural 20.
Fuck! Okay.
That's awesome. Okay.
Get it.
So 1d8. Another 5. 5 plus 5. 10. Oh. Yeah, natural 20 doesn't do it with sneak. That's a different thing. But this time, Hunter Colossus pops in there.
Okay, got it.
That's a 2. So 10, 11, 12. All of that gets doubled for the crit. So that's 24. And then plus the 5 modifier.
Jesus.
29.
Oh, no.
Plus the 2 modifier, 31.
Oh, no. 31?
Right? Yeah.
Yikes.
I think so. Because we're doubling those dice. But only the dice, not doubling the modifier.
Yeah, you don't double the modifier. You also don't double any of the additional like Colossus Slayer, right? You just add that.
I don't double the Colossus?
Is it a die?
It was a die. It's a 1d8.
Then absolutely. Then 100%. I'm sorry. I thought it was just a +4 or something like that. If it's a die, of course.
Gotcha.
Yeah, thank you for checking on that. Yeah, no, that sounds right. It sounds tremendously painful. I mean, the first one being at disadvantage is insane, and the fact that none of that is sneak attack is also insane.
Yeah.
The first one catches over the top. You can see he has like similar kind of like shoulder plates with the demarcations, the crescent and stars of Saloon. He is styled very similarly to members of the Spell Guard that you've seen. However, it is not that full half plate. As it pierces through the center, you see that it's like enough, and you honestly widen your aim, focusing less on location and more on just raw power, cranking it back. It quivers almost identical, spacing it. I mean, literally dotting the front of his chest. You hear him stagger back. You bitch! He starts to sort of struggle and pull back. You still have about 10 feet of movement if you'd like, but that is your action and bonus action.
Yeah, so I'm just going to use it to try and get as much cover as possible.
Okay. Cool. So you still have half cover. Let me just double check one thing, Maddie. I just want to make sure that I'm not cheating you here. Let me just make sure I have this. Right. Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know. Let me just double check one more thing. I haven't run this type of a subclass in a second. Just want to make sure I don't fuck it. Cool. To be clear, don't fuck your subclasses. Okay. To be clear. To be very clear. Interesting. Okay. Cool. So you see him. Tough call. Tough call for him. Tough call for him to make a move on. He has just taken a ton of damage. He is going to use his action to touch his chest. You see him take a brief moment, breathe deeply, and open his eyes, and there's this shimmer of golden fire deep within his iris. You see both arrows fall from his chest, and some of his wounds seem to heal.
God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
It is your turn. He is going to use his action to 10, 15, 20 to come here. And no bonus action. Your move.
Can I use my bonus action to hide?
Sure. I would say because of the situation, you would have, like, what you're essentially trying to do is not, I mean, he knows where you're coming from, right? But you're trying to like break your line of sight in such a way that you can surprise him with an attack. I would say make a stealth check at disadvantage.
Okay. Ooh, it's worse. It's worse. 17.
His passive perception is just beneath that. So I will say for intents of this, you are able to disguise your exact location enough. He obviously saw you go over here. You're obviously within the room, but you're basically using this large contraption of pain to try to break eyesight. You drop down low, kind of beneath this bed of nails, completely breaking visual. You see him boots start to scrape, and as that happens, you almost army crawl to the other side of it and pop up to a half prone position. You can. I won't give you advantage on this attack, but I will say that you have sneak attack because you were hidden.
Okay. Let's see if we can make it hit. I'm gonna try that. I've been adding that. Yeah. Okay. 23.
23 hits. God! Tempest! He starts to sort of react. Yeah, roll damage on that.
That's 1d8, so that's 13 plus 11d8, 13, 17. Plus 2 is 19, and then the sneak attack. 19, 24, 25.
Jesus.
And 29.
Damn, you just erased his last action. But that's how it goes. He had to drop. Dude, I thought that whole person, I can't believe he missed.
Man.
On that person. I don't know.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Okay. Great move, dude. Okay, so you still have a second attack if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll just fire again.
Go for it.
No sneaking this time. Ooh, not as good, but maybe. 15?
15 just hits.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yes.
Okay, alright. That's 4, 5, that's 9, 10, 11. And that's it, right? Oh, 10, 11 plus
Oh, that's once per turn, so we did that already. So yeah, 11.
11 points of damage. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
He is fucked and is going to He's going to again attempt to hold person you. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, that's probably a good call on his part, man. I am not wise, but this time I know what's coming. I got a 22.
Ooh, you shake it off. Okay, he is pretty badly wounded. He is going to damn, he's also a proud man now. Okay, cool. So he's going to use his movement 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to get basically here to the door. It is your turn.
Oh, he's going to the door. He's making a run for it. This is a choice. Do I get the feeling he's trying to run down that hallway, or he's just getting a new strategic look? Is he facing me, or is he turned away from me?
He is striding through the doorframe.
I hate it. All right, I'm gonna chase.
Okay.
I hate this choice. All right, I'm gonna chase. I'm only gonna get chased. You know, I can still see him.
Sure.
So, I'm not gonna hide.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep long enough. I want to still use the longbow, so I won't get
Okay,
in
got it,
melee.
got it.
And yeah, let's just take a shot.
Sure. Just want to come out the other side of this wheel of death.
Yeah. 25.
Hits.
Okay. Let's roll this. Ooh, that's good.
Getting bodied.
That's
Getting
13
bodied.
Plus, oh, that's good too. 20, 21, 22. 22. Yep.
Wow. Okay. 22 points of damage.
22 on that first hit.
How does it go? How does this arrow claim his consciousness?
Yeah. If he's headed out the door, I'm just gonna be like, oh, and he's right on the edge of that silence spell. Although I probably don't know that. Maybe I do. So I'm just be like, oh, this is gonna hurt, and no one's gonna be able to hear you scream. And just back of the head.
Yeah. I love that, by the way, Mapro. As you sort of pop this off, catches. He falls forward within the sphere of silence that you've created, unconscious.
Amazing.
So much for High Inquisitor. Tarks, you got fucking rocked, dude.
It was almost the other way around. Those hold persons were scary.
I thought he was gonna slaughter you as soon as you
Yeah,
felt
I thought
that.
so too.
I can't believe that happened. Okay, dude. Yeah. Shit. I did. Yeah. Didn't use any of his. Well, doesn't matter. Yeah. Seriously.
I am running.
GG's indeed. But what are you doing
Run into
now?
my bee. Run into boy.
Okay.
Untying. Getting off the spittle.
You see, he is covered. I mean, ashen, kind of, gray-skinned. Anyways, it is moving towards almost like these ombre colors of like purple and violet. He's nothing but intertwined whelps. Some of them are actually sort of yellow. They're so sort of off, almost like bruise on bruise. You see him essentially chained up like this, his ankles also bound, more or less tied over what you can imagine is like a wooden balance beam, a very narrow, very uncomfortable length of wood that is charred and sort of, potentially, licking with these flames beneath it as well. Both his feet and his arms are bound down, sort of bending him almost like a saddle over the side of this open fire.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna feed him a superior healing potion.
Amazing. I believe that's 8d4 plus 8?
Yes, 8d4 plus 8. Oh, yeah.
Cierre, my love, I am so sorry. You should not be here. It is too dangerous for you to be. You put it to his lips. He drinks it down. You can see he is absolutely awful. Make a medicine check. And roll your hit die. I'm sorry to throw all that at the same time.
Okay. That's 28 of healing, and then I'm making a medicine. 28 of healing, 19 on the medicine check.
27 on the medicine check.
19 on the medicine
19
check.
on the medicine check.
I think it was 28 on
He
the healing.
he was at 1 hit point, and you can tell that he is unbelievably spent. I mean, taxed beyond relief,
Yeah.
or beyond measure, rather. As he begins to sort of spill out to you, I mean, it is pained. I mean, it is almost like through gritted teeth, perhaps broken ribs, something broken internally. He has suffered from 3 levels of exhaustion
Oh, Jesus.
and has no spell slots.
Yeah. All right, baby B, I'm getting you out of here. Don't know how yet.
This place was fucked. The whole thing, fucked. It is good to see you, my love. He sort of puts an arm around you, and you can see that he's better for this healing, but is still just like so fucking boned. He is still bound. I'm treating it like he's extending an arm, but he is bound hand and foot.
I'm gonna try and untie or unshackle. I've got keys.
That's hilarious. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So do I just? What kind of check is that? Sleight of hand?
Oh no, you'll use your. This is a lockpick. You're trying to use your. Do you have thieves' tools or no?
I've got thieves' tools,
Then
but
yes.
I've also got this ring of keys. I don't know if one of these keys might open.
Ah, well put. Yes, 100%. If you'd like to take your time trying to use the ring of keys, you may.
Sure. Yeah. Let's
Cool.
try some of these.
It doesn't take too long. It's the 3rd key. As you sort of slide it in, you feel it fit and give way. As you sort of take off this enormous padlock, start unthreading his hands, you see him like bend over and sort of slide off this kind of rack. You move to his feet. Same key. You push it in. It moves like a glove. Slides, turns, and looses. As you unclick it, you see, I mean, his legs are almost bone white, ashen white. Not that it is exposed bone, but that his gray-colored drow skin has been chafed and wounded to such a degree that it no longer holds its pigment. As you sort of push it forward and bring him shakily to his feet, I can move. I will be slow. I apologize. It is possible for me to use some magic, but not much. How did you get here?
I found you were gone, and I came to look for you. I snuck my way in. As you can see, I took some of the armaments and insignia of the enemy. And
Oh yes, I actually don't fucking recognize you at all, but I assume you're telling me who you are. I
love
trust you.
can never be hidden.
Agreed, my darling. Agreed.
Let's
You
go.
see-
We're running out of time. We have to get out of here fast.
You sort of like pushes him forward, and he's moving at half speed. Cierre. I mean, he is exhausted. He is, I mean, the worse for wear. He is now at 29 hit points, and as you move through, you step over the body of Tarex, the High Spellguard Inquisitor. You move past him, where
Do I see any potions on him,
roll investigation check.
like tied to his belt or anything? Investigation is a 12.
You move through his person rather quickly. You don't see anything. You're sort of patting him down rather than sort of turning over his pockets and everything there within. You don't feel anything hard except for a bundle of coins which you pull out. You find 65 gold pieces.
right.
There is on the other side a small kind of almost feels like something hard, essentially. You think it might be a vial. As you pull it out, it's almost like a piece of hollowed out bone that has been stoppered. This appears to be almost like a stoppered, like the end of a hip joint. It's definitely like a ball and socket joint.
Wow.
You want to take
Cool.
it?
Yeah, I'll grab it.
As you sort of pop it open, I'm so sorry, my dog is like moving this green screen. As you sort of pop it open, you see there's like a dark substance. It appears to be some sort of black material. You can make a nature check if you'd like.
Okay. 14.
You're not sure what it is. It's definitely organic component. I mean, it doesn't appear to be, like something that's sort of tries to buy or move. Latte! What's up, legends? We're running a little live stream with Matt Trammell, a very talented voiceover actor, who's actually running Cierre, a drow spy lifted from a third edition adventure book called The Silver Marches. Cierre is actively opposed to my main party. their wants, their needs. She is solo bolo looking for her boyfriend, and actually just found him. As you sort of move Berenchena, upright and sort of get him back to his feet and help heal him, the two of you move back into this entryway. You pat down Taurix quickly. You find this weird kind of bone-like vial and the black substance it contains within, but you're not sure what it is. As you move back sort of the way you came, did he only hit you once?
Only hit me once.
That's absurd. How long does silence last? A minute?
10 minutes.
Jeez Louise. I've just absolutely been bamboozled by my player. Latte, I love you. Thank you so much for rolling through. And I love being bamboozled by my players, to be honest. You're the man. You're so good at this.
Honestly, I have no idea how I'm going to get out past these other two.
We shall see. We shall see. As you move past here, you see that Stin, exhausted, broken, bound, brought through, but finally untied, is sitting cross-legged on the floor, his head in his hands. However, Tapas is still losing his absolute freaking mind. Is losing it, is yelling, is desperate to, to get anyone to hear him. Despite the silent spell or not, he's screaming himself hoarse.
Yep. I'm just moving. I'm still going.
Moving. As you move through this... Yeah, please.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stop at the orc cell.
Sure.
Is he... What's going on in there?
He's asleep.
He's asleep. All right, I'm going to take out... what do I have?
Bro, I can't believe you're doing this.
I'm going to wake up this orc. I don't know what I've got. I've got like a piece of bread or something.
Any port and storm. I imagine.
You know what? I've got an old wooden coin.
Yeah, you do?
Gonna toss that at that orc.
Okay.
Actually, why am I Well, the silent spell is actually causing me problems. But yeah, I'm gonna toss the wooden coin.
Okay.
And just try and hit him in the back of the head.
I would say
whatever.
make an attack roll. Add your proficiency in your dex.
Okay. Ooh, it's all right. Not great. Proficiency and dex. So that'll be a 17.
Okay. You pop him. Doesn't make any sound, but hits him square in the head. You see his eyes fuck up.
So I'll just motion to him. And then I'll hold out the keys. And I'll unlock.
Sure.
I wish I could read lips. I wish I had that feat.
He's confused, but he's sort of like, fuck, bro. Keys? I don't recognize you. He sees you in the full dress of a squire in silver. I mean, you are in this half mail, which, by the way, might adjust your armor class, but whatever. We'll deal with that after the fact. He comes forward. You use the same key that you had used to lock these individuals in. It goes in. Grooved, designed for that purpose. It slides silently, and as you slide this jail cell, it's crazy because you feel the resistance of this iron door sliding against its steel catchers to slide laterally, but it makes no sound despite the rust, the weight, and the unevenness due to the effects of your silent spell. You come out.
I'm gonna hand him out of the bag of holding that I've got an extra short sword that I got off of Rolf, the dagger and the short sword. I'm gonna hand it to him.
Oh my gosh, dude. You are bamboozling this dungeon so hard. Okay, so you hand him a short sword. He looks at it.
I'm going to point the direction.
You head out this way.
Yeah.
As you round this corner, you hear a... You see what I'm saying? Pumpy, it's fucking weird. I don't understand it. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. Why is it even going down that way, right? Are you rounding the corner?
Yep.
Okay. So you round the corner. As you come out, he's like, whoa, shit! Shit! And I need you to make an initiative roll for me. Roll for Berenchena as well.
Okay. What does Baronchina have a modifier?
Baronchina does. His dex is +2.
Okay. So that. Oh, nice. I would take it for myself, but I'm not gonna do that because that's wrong. I got a 13.
Mm-hmm.
Baronchina got a natural 20 for
Holy
22.
shit. Holy shit. So I guess I'll have to roll Baronchina. I'll play. You know what? He
Okay.
is. If you want to go and look up the Drow Sorcerer stat block, that is an option. He only has cantrips available to him because of his levels of exhaustion. Because they, knowing what he's capable, what he is, have purposefully kept sleep from him. Have kept the benefits of what would only be a 4-hour short rest for a Drow elf such as yourself. They obviously don't want him returning to anywhere near full power. If you look up the Drow Mage, it will give you the spell block that he uses, and he does have some cantrips available to him. I also just homebrewed it where he also does have Eldritch Blast. However, with all of his levels of exhaustion, ability checks and attack rolls and saving throws would be made at disadvantage. So just bear that in mind as that is happening. So as you move through, he is first to act. You see this squire, essentially being like, oh, fuck. Also reacting is this mastiff. So yeah, what you got?
All right, here's the first act. Cantrips, Mage Hand, Minor Illusion. I guess he will do a little cantrip poison spray.
Okay. Is that a con save?
Let me pull that up. What is this? I'm supposed to say con save.
Yeah, he rolled an 18. Baronchina's spell save DC is a 16, by the way. But he saves, unfortunately. So if they take half damage, roll it, but I don't believe they do on poison spray.
Spells damage increases. Yeah, no, it doesn't say half damage.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So it fails.
And
there is this spray. Yeah, please.
Uh-huh. And he'll just keep moving his half-speed distance.
5, 10, 15. Okay. It is now Beby's turn. He is so boned, he has no idea what to do. However, he has been trained. And as an apprentice to the Spellguard themselves, he is on the path to becoming a blade-singing wizard himself. He is so boned. He is going to cast... You know what? No. He's going to first reach out and fling a firebolt at you. It misses. It splits the difference between you and this large orc you've just let out of this cage. He's like, you shit! He's starting to sort of move and react. And he is going to head this way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. However, that is going to be his turn. It is now your turn, Cierre, followed by your new orc companion, followed by Pumpkin the Mastiff. So what are you doing, Cierre? What you got?
I'm gonna short sword this guy.
Okay. So you see him, coming in, almost toying with the before and after of this spell of silence. He knows some spells, but apparently not enough to have access to second level spells, or to be able to recognize them, at least not immediately. Either that or he's just having a fucking goof in the bottom of what would be the third level of this jowl. He steps outside, and as he rushes forward, you brandish your sword. Roll an attack.
It's a 23.
If savagely hits.
Got a 1d6. 3 plus 4, that's a 7. It's not sneak. He hasn't lost hit points yet.
Nope.
He is a humanoid, so it's a 9 total. Oh, wait. And I'm dueling.
Cool.
Because I'm wielding a single melee weapon, so 11 total.
Okay, wow. Jesus Christ. You come in. As he's sort of raising up a hand, you go low and slash him across the hip and groin. He has this sort of leather skirt that's worn over pretty simple commoner pants. It slashes off and down. You hear him sort of react, covering this burgeoning wound, blood beginning to blossom up and out. It looks like that did a significant amount of damage to him. You do have a second attack.
Let's do it again.
Okay, go for it. This dude is a squire.
That's a dirty 20.
Jeez, you come in, bringing back the short sword and again slashing it forward, this time diagonally across the chest. It hits, roll damage.
That's 6. This time Hunter Slayer does apply, because he's taking damage. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, and dueling. 9, 10, 11.
Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, wait, plus humanoid. 13.
13, wow. You come in. The second one catches the very bottom of his neck. He drops to his knees before slumping forward, unconscious.
Keep your dog on a leash next time.
It is Ruin's turn. And just to color this correctly, I'm going to give Pumpkin its movement. Coming in, snarling. Ruin slashes down with this short sword. It's going to be a 13, enough to do it. Takes 3 points of damage. Not enough. You see him sort of slash down. However, he does have a second attack. Jesus Christ. You see him just take it, slash at the dog, which sort of moves out of the way, this massive. And again, you guys are choosing to attack and kill this dog. That's on you. That's on you, bro. That's on you. As that happens, he comes in, he slashes with the first one. This mastiff sort of reacts, able to slide out of the side, but catching itself, almost pinning itself between the two of you. It sees it down there, flips the short sword backwards, and just drives it through the chest. Sort of whimper and go down. Unconscious. And dead.
Bye, doggy.
Matt Trammell, how dare you kill that dog?
I know.
You are now out of combat.
I feel bad.
However,
Yep.
you are essentially in the situation, as you can imagine it would be. You are, with now 2 companions, 3 stories down.
Yep.
What would you like to do?
I know there's one more guard that I encountered.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna sneak down ahead of Baranchina.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask the orc if he'll join me, but just stay like 20 paces behind.
Sure.
Tell Baranchina to stay safe. So I'm gonna take the lead in approaching this guy, and I'm gonna ask. Oh, let me bring out my pointer here.
Sure.
I'm gonna ask Ruint to stay right about here, and Baranchina like up in this stairwell, just out of sight. Both of these guys. Yeah.
Now I am going to roll something real quick. Okay.
Okay.
You actually see him sort of walking back down.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Down this way.
Yes. He peers in around the same time. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be out of breath. There's just been a jailbreak.
What?
A jailbreak.
You fucking serious? You see him immediately going for a short sword. Okay, fuck. You see him sort of crack open this thing. Roll it. Make a deception check real quick.
Yep. Deception. That's a 21.
Damn. He also rolled a 21 reroll.
Ooh, reroll. This is better. 26.
Wow. He rolled a natural 20.
Oh.
I'm therefore going to just give him a sporting chance, double his proficiency bonus, which brings it to a 4, giving him a 24. You are liar, pants on fire, and no one really seems to care today, Cierre.
Perhaps my background.
The fact, yes, that you have trained your entire life for infiltration missions such as this. Yeah. And perhaps it's the heightened stakes that are sort of driving your heel. Regardless. Yeah. You see him
just loosely carrying my sword side by side.
He pulls out. He unlocks these doors, slides them open. You see him step through. Come on, we gotta go.
Okay, I'm hurt. I'm right behind you.
Okay.
And as he passes me, stab in the back.
Wow. So as he runs by you, you turn. Damn, he's not suspecting this because of the failed insight check and your successful deception roll. Yeah. Because of that, Cierre, you may roll with advantage. And it is a sneak attack.
I need a better one than that. Okay, that's better. Dirty 20.
Hits.
Sneak attack. Let's see. So we're starting with 6. Then we'll do my sneak attack. 6, 7. 12. And 12 is 16.
Okay.
He hasn't taken damage. 16, 17, 18. And also dueling. So 20 total.
Damn, 20 points of damage.
Yep.
Wow. Crazy. He immediately gets driven in the back. You drive it. You sort of twist it around. Ah, fuck. As he sort of starts to react, I want just you and him to make initiative rolls.
Okay.
He rolled a 2. I will give you another round of combat. What did you roll? Did you roll higher than a 2?
For initiative?
He rolled a total of 6.
15.
15? Okay, very well. For intention purposes, you guys have the drop on this guy. He has come inside. You have successfully averted what would have been the biggest challenge, which is him on the locked outside of this lowermost jail system. With it opened, and with you creeping inside it, you have now attacked him. And you have won not only sort of the drop in this surprise round, but also the initiative and the reaction time. So with that in mind, and acting first, I will give you one more round of combat to see whether or not we move into an actual initiative order or not. As you're sort of driving your short sword in and out, savagely, you see him drop to a knee. The fuck? Look back to you. Who the fuck? And start to pull out his own short sword.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to keep stabbing.
Okay. Roll the hit. You do not have advantage nor sneak attack.
Yeah. It's an 18.
Wow, that hits.
Okay. So that's going to be 6. Wait, 6 plus... Oh, we'll do the Hunter Colossus.
Sure, he has taken
Plus 1.
damage.
Yep. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 2 and 2, 16 total.
16 points total. Wow.
Yeah.
God! Shit! He pulls out his short sword in front of him, standing up and rising, ready to defend himself, still upright. But you see sort of part of his shoulder plate cut off and a vicious gash above his right shoulder into his bicep.
Second attack.
Go for it.
That's a dirty 20.
Hits?
Yup.
I'm getting bamboozled.
6, no sneak. I've already done Hunter. So that's 10 total.
Enough.
Whoa.
You stab him in the back. He turns around. You catch him again on the shoulder blade. And as he draws back, you step in, closing the distance, just going jaw to skull. As you sort of catch his shoulder, you see his eyes go wide, and then the light and life leave them. You draw back out your short blade, crumpling at your feet, geysering blood through the neck and jaw, and deceased is this knight in silver.
That's cleared.
I wish that you would have let me partake in some of this, but it is okay. I will help the next time. You see Ruined kind of come around the side here. He comes in, takes the short sword, and just takes 2 enormous hacks, killing this guard. It's what they fucking deserve. All of them. I shall tear the skulls and leave them for the rest. You see him sort of take his short sword and start to butcher kind of the top of this skull and neck. It's pretty gruesome and unnecessary. Baron Chaina comes around the side.
Yeah.
Well, what shall we do? There are ways to return, I know, but I do not have access to them. Cierre, how have you come? Is it possible to return in that same way?
It would be difficult, because we have to go above ground and sneak back to the entrance, back to the Underdark. It
It is the dead of night right now, so we have the cover of night to aid us.
I see.
But the other option is to wait until morning and camp out here and hope no one else. It is the middle of the night. Perhaps no one would venture down here. We've killed the guard on staff on their watch, so perhaps we'd be able to regain some strength.
The day has bled into the night down here. I have lost track of my hours. I know not whether it is day or night. If you say it is night, then it is, of course, but I know not how frequently they change the guard or move things. I have been in the back of this hell for several days, I think, at least. More than a day, certainly. I have not been able to sleep or rest. I would like to meditate, but I don't know if it would be safe. What have you seen from the above? Are there guards moving about? Where even am I? Where are we?
There were some. The whole town is rattled right now because of a visit from a dragon. So they are preoccupied. But we're deep under, well, not very deep, shallow by drow standards. But we are under one of the primary seats of their power.
We are within the Star Court, then.
That's it. Yes, the Star Court. Yes.
That is hard. It would, of course, be guarded, and for good reason. God, I wish I had just a bit of shut-eye. I would be so much more helpful.
Well, no one suspects this infiltration as of yet, as far as I know. So at the very least, I think we have a moment, perhaps an hour or so, to catch our breath.
Very well. Then let
to
us
maybe search this place to see if there's any items here that might aid us.
You see Runt kind of looking about, and he has now also sort of taken the time to sort of flip over the corpse of this elven knight in silver. He's not really participating in this conversation, although he's sort of hearing bits and pieces. I would like to rest even just for a little bit. It has been non-stop. Fucking hell.
Yes.
Maybe stop for 5 minutes, 6, a drink of water and move on. It is too much. You see him sort of go, and I think I saw, he sort of heads back the way you guys had come, back into this sort of almost like resting area / green room. I will say it has been 10 minutes, so this silent spell is gone.
Sure.
So that has been removed. However, as you guys move back into this space, you see that there is essentially 2 casks. There are some open boxes within which there are some hay. You do see what appears to be a small kite shield. But if you would like to investigate this area and move about it, you may. In general, Baranchena has sort of come back into this area, drawn a cup of water for himself, and is resting in this area. Ruint has sort of moved back, and you see him now. You guys hear the cries. Oh, what the fuck? What the fucking hell? Hey, let us the fuck out! Please let us out! Help us! Help! Help! Fucking shut up! You're yelling in my fucking ear, you fucking moron! Help us! You hear what apparently is Tapas and a still elf named Sten disguised as a full-blooded, although his hands are back. He's removing this sort of disguise.
Yeah.
You hear them sort of crying from this space, but doing nothing. If you'd like, Cierre, you have an hour. I mean, it will not count as a short rest for you if you are investigating and moving about over this time frame. However, Baranchena is desperate for a rest and is certainly welcome for one. And if you are, I mean, I think you guys are close enough. I mean, you guys know a lot about your skill set. I mean, most of your time together was more spent, within Menzoberranzan. I mean, there really haven't been very many joint ventures where you guys have moved in tandem. You're not sure if Umbridge knows that the two of you are kind of an item. You feel like if he did, he might even be more inclined to have you work together. And with that in mind, perhaps that's what pushed you here. He's always been a manipulator, always been one that's been willing to sort of press the flesh. But now in this moment, you essentially have to make a choice. You know that Baron Chaina, the level of spellcaster that he is, the subclass of spellcaster that he is, he will be able to regain, through his arcane recovery, some measure of his spellcasting ability. If you are trying to rest, you will not be able to do that. So, to investigate rather. So, are we resting or are we going?
I think while they're resting, I will investigate and collect my arrows or what I can gather back. Is that typically half?
Make a survival check. Yeah, DC
check.
is 10 to find back half, and it's not even so much like a challenge rating. Like, you know what you're doing. It's more just the throes of fate. Sometimes arrows get bent, the shaft gets cracked, it's not reusable. What did you roll?
Rolled a 10.
Just what you needed. So you were able to recover half rounded down of the arrows used. So I think that was 4, but you would have tracked that better than I would have.
Yeah, that was 4.
Baron Chaina is rolling very poorly on his hit die. Hold up. Um, 16. Sweet. Okay.
While I'm before I started searching around and stuff, I probably would have passed off a couple of. I would have passed off the new bone vial that I found to Baron Chaina, and also the vial that I took from the old woman in the tower that I never really spent the time myself to identify, and be like, if you've got some spare energy and if you're able to, if you know what these are, maybe you need to look them over and inspect them, but don't harrow yourself. Don't expend yourself. Just if you know what these are, give them a look. I'm gonna search these.
Gladly, my love. Gladly, give them. You hand them over, and as he sort of takes them, you see him again, just like refilling his cup from this water barrel and just emptying it. Some of the light is returning to him, some of the energy as well. You give him these 2 things. Just for clarity, you had discovered a potion of a vial of invulnerability, correct?
Yes, I have the vial of invulnerability.
And a potion of fly, which has been consumed. Of fly.
Yes.
Correct?
And then there was a potion of question mark.
Exactly, which you've handed to him. You also hand him this like what looks like a hip, like the ball part from a ball and hip socket. You hand it to him, right?
Super cool.
And then you move about to investigate the space. So I would say, given the fact that you are not harried by time, I would say give me an investigation check with advantage.
Using his.
No. Using yours. Baron Chaina is chilling. He's resting.
Yeah. I was thinking this was for the vials. I see. You're just.
Oh no. You gave them both to him. Gotcha. He'll get back to you after the short rest.
I got you. Gotcha. Okay. You said with advantage.
Correct.
Ooh, it's not great. 9.
9? Cool. So you move through the space. It is and also shout out to Seafoot Games. They make great maps.
Seafoot Games.
You're welcome for the $2, Seafoot Games. Shout out. It's like, is it disrespectful to give less than $5? I don't think so. With that in mind, my tips are wide open. I'll take $2. I'll take $2. As you move through the space, it is definitely an area designed to break down and remove the human spirit and the humanoid desire and will to live. You move through this area. Beep beep beep. Where are you? And you start up kind of where you haven't gone. You can see that this is almost like this weird like observation deck that looks into this torture room. There are steps that go up to a higher deck with what appears to be more or less like a lunchroom, which is honestly like kind of fucked up. You go here to the other side, you find another small area. You kind of poke around, but you don't find anything of particular note with that 9. So you come back. As you come in, there is no one in any of these cells. It is pretty grim. It's pretty intense. You press back, going back down and around and sort of making your way into this area. You step in. This is essentially an office. You poke around through it. So many letters. So much of it seems like just classic, like logging prisoner in, prisoner out. There's not really anything that immediately applies to Berenstain, at least not anything you can find. And one thing that really is still kind of like intense, I think, to you is seeing all this iconography of Maliki and of Saloon, even within this space. I mean, it's sort of like seeing a bunch of Nazi shit like within a space. I mean, it's icky. It's something that is like reprehensible and immediately aversely reactive from you. However, you rolled like shit, even with advantage. So you move back through, and you see no one here. I mean, there's literally this orc and Berenstain. You're also not sure how many levels there are to this dungeon. It was mentioned that you were dropped off on the 3rd. However, you come in here, you find a door. It's not locked. You go down it, and this appears to be sleeping quarters. This is definitely more designed as an area, to be kind of lived in. You did see another kind of study desk and a still burning hearth here to the west. Would you like to open any of these rooms and go inside them?
Sure, let's open them all. I'm gonna listen at each one to make sure there's not like a sleeping guard inside.
Sure.
See if I hear any snoring.
So make a perception check. Give me just 2 perception checks, let's say.
Okay. The first one's a 22.
Sure.
The next one is a 17.
So you haven't really heard anything down here, right? And you've spent your entire life, I mean, miles beneath the surface of what is generally considered the Sword Coast, Faerun.
Mm-hmm.
You're used to the silence and pressure that's begotten by depth. And as you move through this space, the silence isn't absolute. And with that 22, as you get to the 3rd door, you do hear the light rustle of someone within, asleep, breathing. The first 2 doors, as you had reached them and opened them, you found nothing inside. However, in this 3rd, you find someone. There are, if you'd like to make investigation checks in here, there are essentially foot lockers. They look like private space. There appear to be people sleeping within these 2 spaces. Beep.
Uh-huh.
And the 5th and final is empty.
All right. It's nighttime.
That's partly why it was extremely critical for you to finish things as fastly as you did.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll check the foot lockers of the ones that I've already explored.
Sure.
The ones that I know are empty.
So nothing is particularly hidden.
Yeah.
You find some rations, some personal correspondence. In one, you do find a letter from an individual called Frederick von Teese. It speaks of being grateful for the belief, the support. It says that they're excited to head to Sundabar and participate in the Festival of Light and to give, quote, honor as the Crescent Champion. Leads you to believe that this is a reference to Frederick himself? Unclear. You've never heard the term Crescent Champion. But this individual or whoever was sleeping here, if they're not bleeding out or already dead or locked within a northernmost jail cell, appears to be a friend of another Knight in Silver and be sharing letters about the intention they're in. But the hour comes and goes. You can see that Berenstain feels way the fuck better. Like he actually comes and finds you at one point.
I'm just gonna, hold my hand up and stay quiet. People sleeping.
I was not initially sure what either of these were, but I am now positive as to this.
He holds up the, it's a very light kind of shimmering yellow. It's more kind of like a banana golden. And it is, like I said, a potion, that kind of classic light bulb. It looks like a lit fluorescent Edison bulb. And he essentially tells you that it is a potion of greater invisibility. That it does require concentration checks. And everything else is applicable for the greater invisibility spell. Excuse me. However, he also informs you, and perhaps it's just the high-level arcane handiwork of a ye old crone, but that you get to make the concentration checks with advantage. Very similar to the flight potion that you have gotten your sticky paws onto.
Nice.
As for this, my love, it is something stranger and more sinister. It is a crushed black pearl. Quite a lot of it. Almost 500, 600 gold pieces. a fortune.
Wow.
To be honest, I rolled a natural 1. I had to ritually cast identify, but I am sure of it. It is, well, honestly, it's something I'd like to hold on to. It could help me in the war to come.
Yeah, it's yours. It is, of course, yours.
Dope.
In fact, you should hold on to both of them.
Yeah, let's go.
I have a feeling we're going to need... I feel like we're going to need you to remain unseen as we make our way out of here.
Cool.
That, well, this would make things easier for certain. You are so brave, my love. I don't know what the fuck you're doing here.
I'm so sorry I wasn't there.
You shouldn't have troubled yourself. We were come upon within the sanctuary. I was close. I had almost brought the Sibrix to the material plane. But I
think I saw the Sibrix in the mirror.
Is that how you came up through the sanctuary?
Yes, through the sanctuary.
Of course. Well, Umbridge would send you. That makes sense. Yes, I'm glad it is still there, that the mirror has not been broken, if that is the case, but I'm sure that the barrels have been claimed, and much of my personal work and cachet has been ransacked. But
the barrels have been claimed. I know where they are stored, and we will be passing through that way.
You have found the barrels?
Yes.
Well, that's
the way out.
Extremely fortunate. It will help us, of course, to not have to search. You are like a magician yourself, my love. How do you do all of this?
But do you think, is it possible to move these barrels? Like, there's so many of them, and it's only the two of us. How would we get these back into place? They need to be loaded into the sanctuary, correct?
I was slowly dispersing them within a pipe system that I had built.
I see.
As you know, my ability to mold earth and shape stone is comprehensive, so it was not so much a problem as it was just a matter of spell slots.
Yes.
But if they are all gone from the sanctuary, then yes, it is too much. It is too much.
They're about 4 hours away. Wasn't it 4 hours? I think it was about 4 hour walk.
Well,
about 4 hours outside of the sanctuary, which is not impossible. But if it's only you and I don't know how long they will be there, that might be temporary storage.
I don't
They were
know.
unloaded
I don't know. I
by the silvery guards.
have been a little bit rattled. I feel lost. I mean, I feel better to the past hour, but I don't know. Did Umbridge give you any guidance? I was of course using what the blind jackals had given us to work into this pipe system to weaken the actual mithril ward of Silverymoon. But it was not time. I need another week, probably 2. And honestly, I don't know how safe it would be. I mean, the sanctuary has been
Now they know where.
discovered. Exactly, yes.
Right. I think that plan is lost. But I do also think it is the way out and the way back. Don't you believe we could get back to Menzoberranzan through the sanctuary?
If I can get even a simple rest, there is a permanent teleportation circle that is just beyond the Bridge of Darkness. I could take us back, not a problem. But I would be lying if I said that I felt like I was leaving things well here. I was close to bringing down the ward. It would be enough to help with everything, and I am reticent to just leave it undone, but perhaps we should go back and come back in force or with a better plan. I don't know.
Perhaps we should reach out to Umbridge, and I pull out the sending stone.
Aye, that is so good. I feel like mine have probably been stolen or taken.
Most likely. I tried to contact you for several days, and I feared the worst when I could no longer reach you.
I would not go a minute without responding, my dove.
I know you wouldn't.
Well, and at this point you see Ruint come back in. Sorry. I was trying to stab some of those bastards.
I held up my hand to quiet. People sleeping. I don't know where we are exactly right now having this conversation, but
I put you guys sort of back in my mind's eye, sort of
If
back
we're near
in
those
this
sleeping
chamber.
chambers, then
I put you guys back in there. Runt has come back in. You see his short sword is sort of bloodied. However, he's not really one to talk. He's also not the brightest of fellows. He sort of closes his eyes. Whatever you say, I will go. But maybe we should go now. I don't want to find myself back behind a cage.
I think you're right. I think going now is a good idea.
Okay, well, yeah, let's fucking roll then. Let's see what we can do. You guys head back up.
Oh, I might reach out to Umbridge first.
Sure.
Or ask Baron Chaina if he would rather speak with Umbridge through the Sending Stone.
I would like, it is not a difference. I would like to say that I'm alive, if it is okay.
I will, okay.
If you have something to say, then say it. And if you feel like you would be better to hear the response, then of course, hang on to it.
I mean, as long as whichever one of us, we just need to get an idea about what Umbridge would like us to do given the current circumstances. Inform him of the circumstances.
Well, then you should speak. You were the one that spoke with him last, yes. But let him know I'm alive.
Absolutely. Okay. So I'm gonna send to Umbridge. What am I gonna ask about here? Let me think.
25 words, you baby boy.
25 words.
And as you ponder, let me take this quick moment to say, guys, I love you so much. Thank you for coming through. New viewers, old viewers, Amon, MapPro, level up. I love you guys. I'm sorry I haven't been hollering at chat. I've just been trying to do this as a proper experience. But I love live play sessions. For those of you just joining, where the fuck you been? And Matt Trimmel's playing Cierre, a NPC that was created in the Silver Marches, which is a fantastic 3rd edition adventure campaign guide. I have taken her, applied her to my homebrewed campaign, and she is essentially playing an NPC that is actively opposed to my main party. So what would you like to say to Umbridge, the Death Mage?
Baron Chaina rescued from what's the name of this? Starcourt. He's weak. Barrels have been stolen. But are collected together. Could ignite upon return, but wards will remain. How to proceed? Question.
Cool. So it cuts off before you can say proceed, but everything else is said. Although I might have very possibly done my finger math wrong. Either way.
Yeah, I didn't do any math. So.
No, I got you on that. Much is communicated, and a moment goes by. Before you hear Umbridge respond, you have done well. If the barrels are cached anywhere within the city, ignite them and let chaos reign.
I'll turn to Baron Chaina. He's very happy to hear of your safe return, my love.
Good. He is a real one, that Umbridge.
Yes. He wants us to move forward with the explosion of the barrels to create as much chaos and havoc of these above-ground lurkers.
Let them taste what we have known for centuries.
I agree.
It shall be.
Speaking of chaos, Ruined, are you ready? I think we should head out.
I was born ready. Come, and thank you again for the tool.
Yes.
He sort of pulls back this short sword, which again is dripping blood. You guys make your way out of this chamber. Dude, I just gotta say, Matt, hand to God, was fairly certain you were gonna die. And
I thought so too.
Was also very, very confident. It was sort of like not die maybe, or get captured. And I kind of wanted that because then my party was going to find out about it. And I cannot believe that you are in this position right now. Now, granted, you are still within the actual Star Core. You are deep within, right? So you have not made it to safety all the way. And you
I feel
are
really bad because I know the party has probably met that dog, and they're probably going to be so pissed. I killed that dog.
Yee.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
so as you sort of head back, the platform is exactly where it had been.
Yeah.
You do see, I mean, something that, was pretty apparent to you, but, just to sort of, again, reiterate it, I mean, essentially a 20 by 20 platform, right? There's 4 kind of corners of it, these like, almost like these steel, like I-beams that meet in a point above it from which there was an extremely heavily loosed and, run and noosed and knotted chain. That then runs to the very top. The thing descended for minutes. It also took a long time to crank. You see the chains going up. You also see kind of concurrent to it, thin loops of what appears to be like twine almost running with it. But other than that, there is no contraption. There is no crank on your end. There is nothing to really operate.
Give me 1 second. I'm reading about this spell.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So don't know if I completely registered all of that description. There's the twine. I'm very curious about the thin loops of twine that run all the way up and down the shaft that we came down.
Sure.
Is that right?
Like
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like where these beams come together, right? Past that, almost like if you had like an extended cat's cradle, like the classic child's toy. Loops past it. You put your hand on it. Comes down about 3-4 feet from the bottom of this platform. As you touch it, you feel it kind of give and move a little bit. Are you wanting to pull it, or are you not?
I guess I'll pull it. I didn't see like any bells or anything up at the top that ring or something when I entered this lift, right? Nothing
You can
like
make a
that.
history check if you'd like.
Okay. 14.
You saw where this man had sort of laid out his coins.
Yeah.
That there was a, quite a bit set up there. I mean, it's basically the inside of this corner of a barracks within the High Palace. As you sort of began descending, you do remember hearing a bell. However, where and how it interacts, you're not really sure.
Yeah, I'll just try pulling that twine that I was working on.
As you do, you hear a bell ring. And you're making me look like an idiot, Cierre, for calling all of these shots. But that's exactly what happens. As you sort of give it, there's a ding, 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 ding. About 25 seconds go by before you hear this straining as these chains catch and begin pulling upward. And as this thing starts ascending, you feel thin drow hands and fingers interlock with your own as Baron Chainer reaches for your grip. And as you guys move back up, taking the 2-3 minutes, anything you'd like to do before you reach the actual surface level above?
2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to. Do I want to do? I'm gonna. That seems. Kind of want to pull another silence. Kind of want to do a darkness. And I don't know if I should do either of those or just let the orc do his thing. I'm just gonna not do anything. We'll just wait. Do I remember like this platform that we're on?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of open air, right? There's not like a gate that opens or closes to get on and off.
No.
Like when.
No, it's completely open air. Yeah.
Just open air. Okay. Yeah. Then I'll just chill.
Okay. Now, you had spoken, are you suggesting to Baron Chainer that he take this greater invisibility potion?
Not yet.
Okay.
I would say we've still got the orc with us. There's no point in hiding until we need it. Maybe, I think when we move through this city, that's when it will come into play.
Okay. So as this this lift grinds against its chains, and you start to see the soft starlight of the open canopy above you, the shadows cast from the local fire that this one kind of lift keeper keeps. We'll call it there. And pick up next week as you guys break the very top of this surface.
Oh my god.
And deal with whatever may wait for you as you try to make it just through the outside of the Star Court itself. Much
Just a
less
break.
back across a very sizable courtyard. Much less back into the Temple of Silvery Stars and then beyond.
So many.
Oh, I love you
obstacles.
guys. Dude, I will totally find my dog for you guys. Guys, thank you. Thank you for coming through. I believe we need 5,000 bits, right, to find my dog? Can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait. Cierre, what a treat. What a pleasure. Everyone, thank you so much for rolling through. If you've never been here before, I'm Carpe the DM. I typically stream Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Monday, Wednesdays typically are D&D content. Been doing some really fun one-on-one sessions with Matt Trammell, who's a fantastic actor, a friend of mine, voiceover guy. And I think we might continue that next Monday. TBD.
Yeah.
But I also run a Wednesday session, which is essentially called Between Two DMs. It is a interview style segment where I bring on DMs, I rap with them, we talk D&D, and I typically like both learn from them while also kind of running an open chat where people can come, they can ask questions, they can just talk D&D. Yo, Amon, how are you, Prince? Good seeing you. And then Fridays, I actually usually play Elden Ring, which is actually going to have to change because your boy beat the game. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
You did it?
Yes, dude. I finally beat the game. I'm pumped.
Nice.
I'm over the absolute moon. Like, I'm truly losing my mind. I'm so grateful. So this Friday, we're going to be having a Mario party where we essentially hang out. I think I'm going to, like, treat it like a drinking stream. Like, we might, like, have a couple adult beverages. I don't really know. But we're just going to cut loose. And we're going to celebrate success, life, the fact that we beat Elden Ring, and literally anybody with a Switch come through on Friday because we're going to be playing Mario Kart and Smash Bros. And Mario Party. So, that's what's up. Maddie, where can we find you, dude? What's the best way to stay in touch with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just around. I'm not really doing too much in the streamverse just yet.
Sure.
But if you want to hit me up on Twitter, I'm at Matt Trammell. You want to hit me up on Instagram, I'm at the Rambo Mammal.
Hell yes.
all one
Matt is
word?
an incredible photographer as well as artist. Does a lot of things really well. Dude, that's so funny. Mapronomicon, someone's going to be waiting. I just saw you. Shut your fucking mouth, Matt, bro. Just kidding. I love you. Yes, dude. Excellent. Great place to find Matt. I honestly love your stuff, man, just because I feel like you're a really generous artist and you also really have some very conscious, sweet, thoughtful takes.
Thanks, man.
Which like is helpful, you know what I mean? Like we need that in the world. MD Dragonfrost, yo! I'm not sure if you're still here, but I love you so much. Oh my gosh, Kevo, Mongolian Jeef, I'm just seeing you guys from the raid. Dang it, I love you guys too. So much love. Love you, Latte. You guys are so sweet for coming through. Sergeant Panda 123. I'm new to D&D. How good is the game? 1 out of 10. Matt.
Oh, that's turn that up to 11.
Wow, we cranking it to 11. Dude, Mapro goes 50 out of 10. I love it. All you guys are such legends. I clearly need to make the... I don't hear music anymore. Oh, no. Well, I hope the music continued to play. Well, we'll see. We had a good time. Guys, thank you so much. If you want to come back through, catch my stuff, drop me a follow. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. As always, I like to end the stream by rating either a friend of mine or another Dungeons and Dragons just content creator. You know what it is.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a fun way. Like whenever I first started on Twitch, that was done to me, actually by Latte, who rated again today. She's so sweet.
Nice.
And dude, it was so amazing. Like it made an enormous difference in my day, like in my stream. It was super... I don't know, just uplifting.
You gotta build the community.
That's exactly what it is, man.
Support.
That's exactly what it is. So, let me find someone Ideally, that's not running like a live campaign, because sometimes that's a little weird. You know what? Screw it. Let's just start the raid on these guys. We're coming in. Guys, if you can, pop in on these guys. Looks like they're also running a live play session. If not, no big deal. I'm Carper the DM. I'm so grateful. Matt Trammy, you're an absolute prince, dude.
Man,
you guys take care of yourself. Love yourself, and we will see you soon.